RantNRavinFection, how's it going? Head chala people, head chala. You know what it is. Dragon Ball Z, another list. This one is about the top 5 best Dragon Ball Z villains ever. Coming in at number 5 is Broly. Y'all remember Broly. Now, aesthetically, visually, appearance-wise, Broly has to be the coolest, illest looking villain in the DBZ series. Arguably, villain or otherwise, all the characters, he's probably the coolest looking. You could argue that. I mean, he's a huge dude, he's very buffed up, very muscular, he's gotta be like 8 feet tall. I mean, the guy is so intimidating looking, he's so powerful looking that the mere presence, the mere sight of him makes you go, wow, that's a Super Saiyan, that's how you do a Super Saiyan. The spiky hair, the blonde, aura, the energy just emanating from the dude. The reason he's number 5 and he's not any higher is because what has he done, really? Besides look cool and snort and grunt and go, I'm tough and look cool, he hasn't really done anything. He's had his ass kicked in every fight that he's been on. He even got defeated by frickin' Krillin and Gohan. So, to have your butt stomped by a young Gohan and a Krillin, and I think they were with... Gohan? Wait, was it Goten? One of those little dudes, one of those little guys. Goten and Trunks and Krillin and whatever, a little guy. Anyway, yeah, like I'm saying, Broly hasn't really done much. I mean, every battle he's been in, he's lost, I mean, yeah, sometimes he would beat up, like, somebody like Goku, it looked like he was winning. He would give Goku a beatdown, but Goku would come, you're messing with Goku, man. Goku does not lose, not oftentimes will they put somebody else over Goku. And Broly, man, Broly got his butt whooped by Goku, man. He's been killed like 2 or 3 times already, so yeah, he looks great, he's a cool looking character, but, he'll be number 5 on the list and nothing higher than that. Alright, number 4, best Dragon Ball Z villain, somebody very underrated, Raditz. How underappreciated is this guy? I mean, Raditz is a very interesting guy because he's not the most powerful villain. He certainly seemed very powerful when they the first episode, when they debuted him, and when he started, abusing Goku. The thing that makes him a draw and makes him number 4 is his personality. The stuff that he says, he's got a charisma about him, he's got a personality. He's a wisecracking dude, he can be funny, the stuff that he says, he can be, like, really sarcastic, I remember when, he met Piccolo for the first time, Piccolo, like, tried to attack him with a laser beam, or whatever, and it hit Raditz, like, square in the face, and Raditz was just like, I think you managed to singe my leg hairs. It's just some funny crap like that. He'll say something like that. And, the fact that he beat up his younger brother, and then he kidnapped Goku's son, Gohan, and held him as ransom. I mean, what kind of an uncle is that? He's so freaking mean, he's such a mean guy. He was a very intimidating kind of guy. Not the most powerful villain, but... when he came, and he didn't last very long either, his longevity, he was in the series for, 2 or 3 episodes, he died in, like, the 3rd or 4th episode, so he didn't last very long, but, I wish they brought him back, he was an interesting dude, he had that cool, he was the first guy to sport that scouter, so he gets the honor of being the first real Saiyan, guy who looks like a real Saiyan to be shown in Dragon Ball Z franchise. Now, number 3, best villain of all time, Dragon Ball Z, is Vegeta. Okay, how badass was Vegeta when he was a heel, when he was a villain? He was merciless, he does not care. He can be your best friend for 20 years. If you fail him, and if you're on the ground like Nappa and just begging for help, he's gonna throw you in the air, blast you into smithereens, and then you're done, you know? He'll kill you. He doesn't care, man. He don't give a fuck. You know? He don't care. Vegeta as a villain is just evil. He's just a mean guy. He has no friends. He doesn't care about anybody. He doesn't care about his family. I don't think he cared about his father. Well, maybe he did, but I think he respected his father, but you know, you never saw Vegeta cry except once, you know. But he's a mean dude. He's a very interesting guy too, because he switches between good and evil. He's almost like an anti-hero where he's selfish and he only cares about his own personal well-being, but he has managed to become a defender of Earth as well, you know, marrying Bulma, having a child, Trunks, and you know, Vegeta, very good heel character, very good villain, definitely. So number 3 would be Vegeta. Okay, number 2, best Dragon Ball Z villain, I would have to say, you know, the Ginyu Force. Now, not a lot of people will probably agree with this, but I thought the Ginyu Force was kind of cool, you know. They were kind of a parody on the Super Sentry Sentai. It's kind of funny because whenever I say Super Sentry, I always say Super, like mispronunciation. But getting off topic, let's talk about the freaking Ginyu Force. I mean, Ginyu himself, the guy with the horns, he's the leader, purple skin and everything. His powers, he can steal your body. Well, one time he actually stole Goku's freaking body. And you know, he had his face and everything, except he had the scouter to differentiate the physical appearance. So definitely a weird guy, you know, weird characters. Each of them has a different ability. One of them is like Raccoon, I think, the very fast guy. He's very agile. One of them is Jace, the guy who's really short and orange, and he's got white long hair. He doesn't do much, but I don't know, he just stands there to look cool. And the other guy, one of them is a big guy who kind of looks like Android number 19. Yeah, he's a big dude, nothing but power. And the other guy, Guldo or Gourd, he's the shortest out of the group, and he's a green kind of guy. He kind of almost looks like a Martian-looking character, and he's got like almost like psychic power. So the Ginyu Force is very interesting because they reminded me of, yeah, like the Power Rangers, Super Sentry, stuff like that. They were a parody kind of, and they were more comical, you know, because this leads into number 1. Okay, the best Dragon Ball Z villain, hands down, Frieza. Come on. Now, Frieza had his henchmen, and they included the Ginyu Force. But instead of being wacky and very goofy like the Ginyu Force, Frieza was just mean. He was just plain evil, man. He was like the baddest, most sadistic son of a whatever name you can think of. He is just an a-hole from beginning to end. Ever since he debuted in Dragon Ball Z, all the way to his death. Just a first-class a-hole, you know, he's a jerk, he's a prick. And, I mean, let's look at it from this point of view. Okay, you have a very good, benevolent, powerful being like Goku. Well, his opposite would be Frieza, you know? Frieza is he's such a heel because he doesn't care about anyone. He uses people, he's so powerful that he has to transform in order to maintain his power, in order to, like, preserve his energy and conserve it, and not reveal his full nature. So he's a very interesting character because he can transform, but also because, in his mind, he knows he's the best and he thinks he's the best. He doesn't give a crap. One of the biggest reasons why he's number 1 is also his history. Now, as far as villains go, he's had the most influence and impact in the DBZ series. Man, he's the one who destroyed the Saiyan race, you know, right after he freaking enslaved them and made them do his dirty work, you know, enslaving other planets. He ended up destroying the entire planet because they were a threat to him. So don't mess with Frieza. He'll destroy your freaking planet, man. That guy is just unbelievable. Not a big fan of the cyborg Frieza, you know, it was like, it made him look weaker because he had to use metal and, like, he became a cyborg in order to maintain functioning, even though they said, oh, quote-unquote, he's more powerful than before. I felt that he was weaker because he was more machine. You know, his natural form was more intimidating.